Hello, preppers! Are you ready for what's coming in 2024? As the tick-tock of the clock ushers us into the new year, we find ourselves standing on the precipice of a world in flux. The year 2024 is shaping up to be one of unprecedented challenges and crises, and the time for action is now. Our journey begins here today, as we commence our countdown to the storm that lies ahead. It's not a question of if, but when. The tremors are already being felt, and the need to prepare has never been more urgent. This is your wake-up call. This is your signal to start prepping. The path to readiness begins with 3 simple steps: water, food, and shelter. These are your lifelines in the turbulent times to come. Remember these 3 steps: water, food, shelter. The 2024 crisis countdown begins. Are you ready? First on our list, the ominous shadow of food shortages. As we look ahead to 2024, the global food supply is teetering on the edge. Unpredictable weather patterns, water scarcity, and the ravages of pestilence are all converging to create a perfect storm. The result? Potential food shortages on a scale we've never seen before. The importance of securing a stable food supply cannot be overstated. It's not just about filling our bellies, it's about nourishment, health, and ultimately, survival. In a world where supermarket shelves could be stripped bare, self-sufficiency becomes the name of the game. And let's not forget the impact of global events. Political upheavals, trade disputes, wars, all these can disrupt the movement of food from where it's grown to where it's needed. As more countries hold back their harvests for domestic use, and shipping becomes riskier due to geopolitical tensions, the availability of food could dwindle. It's a reality we must face. Next up, the Middle East. This region, often seen as a geopolitical powder keg, is showing signs of increased tension. It's a complex tapestry of religious, ethnic, and political conflicts, all intertwined and ready to explode at a moment's notice. The tensions are running high and the potential for conflict is escalating. If the fuse is lit, the resulting explosion could reverberate across the globe. The Middle East is a key player in the world's oil market. It's home to some of the largest petroleum reserves on the planet. If war breaks out, the global oil supply could be severely disrupted. This disruption would likely lead to skyrocketing oil prices, affecting everything from transportation costs to the price of goods. In a world that heavily relies on oil, such a price increase could have serious and far-reaching consequences. From economies to everyday lives, the ripple effects would be felt worldwide. Crude oil will spike once the area breaks out into a full-scale war. Meanwhile, on the home front, the USA faces a critical election year. As we look to the horizon of 2024, the political climate is simmering, a pot on the brink of boiling over. The stakes are higher than ever. The nation stands on a precipice, a tipping point where the outcome of this election could shape the course of history. The potential for political unrest is palpable. The air is thick with tension as parties clash, ideologies collide, and the voices of the people rise in a cacophony of discord. The divide is deepening, the chasm widening as the nation grapples with polarizing issues. Social discord is also a concern. Protests and rallies, marches and movements, the public sphere is more volatile than ever. It's a perfect storm of political and social unrest, a whirlwind of change and challenge that's brewing. It's a storm that could shake the very foundations of the nation. So, brace yourselves, as the winds of 2024 start to blow. Now, let's talk money. Our financial systems, the lifeblood of our economies, are showing signs of strain. Banks, the beating heart of this system, are sounding alarm bells. The whispers of a major financial collapse are growing louder. Over the past decade, we've seen a rapid increase in global debt, from governments to corporations and even individual households. It's a precarious house of cards, and it seems the slightest breeze could send it all tumbling down. The global economy is more interconnected than ever before. A significant jolt in any major economy could send shockwaves across the world, triggering a domino effect. The fallout? Unprecedented. Wealth could evaporate overnight, jobs could disappear, and the very fabric of our societies could be tested. Even the most robust economies are not immune to such a collapse. It's a sobering reality we must face. A potential financial collapse looms, threatening the economic stability we've taken for granted. Ukraine and Russia, a geopolitical chessboard where tensions are escalating. In the east of Europe, a conflict that has been simmering for years is reaching a boiling point. Ukraine, a nation striving for Western integration, and Russia, a global powerhouse determined to maintain its sphere of influence. This clash of wills is more than a regional dispute. It's a tussle that could have far-reaching implications. The West, led by the United States and NATO, is closely watching this volatile situation. Sanctions against Russia have been a go-to strategy, but the effectiveness of such measures remains debatable. Russia, on its part, has shown an unwavering resolve, further intensifying the standoff. As the chess pieces move on this geopolitical board, the potential for a major escalation keeps the world on edge. This isn't just about Ukraine and Russia, it's about the balance of power in a rapidly changing world order. Are you ready for the ripples it might send? Across the seas, China and Taiwan are engaged in a high-stakes game. The tension between these two entities is like a simmering pot on the brink of boiling over. China, a global powerhouse, sees Taiwan as a runaway province, an integral part of its territory to be brought back under its control. On the other hand, Taiwan, an island of democracy, cherishes its hard-won freedoms and resists reunification without consent. This power struggle has been brewing for decades, but in recent years, the stakes have heightened, with increased military posturing and political rhetoric. The world watches, breath held, as the balance of power teeters on a knife's edge. The implications are far-reaching, threatening to disrupt global supply chains, ignite military conflicts, and shift geopolitical alliances. In a world of uncertainty, predicting the outcome becomes nearly impossible. But one thing is clear. The game between China and Taiwan is not just their game. It's a game that could alter the world map and impact us all. For the farmers among us, abnormal weather patterns pose a unique challenge. As our planet's climate continues to shift, we're seeing weather patterns become less predictable and more extreme. This isn't just a matter of hotter summers and colder winters, but of sudden, drastic changes that can occur within a single growing season. Farming, an occupation as old as civilization itself, is now at the mercy of these new weather patterns. Traditional farming methods, honed over generations, may not be up to the task. The crops we've relied on for centuries may struggle to survive in this new climate, and the very rhythm of the farming year may need to change. The question is no longer if we will need to adapt, but how. Farmers may need to turn to new crops, new farming techniques, even new technology. It's a daunting prospect, but humanity has faced daunting prospects before and come out stronger. How do we adapt to nature's changing whims? The battleground has shifted to cyberspace. In this digital age, warfare isn't just about bombs and bullets anymore. It's about bytes and bandwidth. As we connect more and more of our lives to the internet, we expose ourselves to new threats. Cyber warfare is a term we're hearing more frequently, and it's not just about stealing personal data or causing a temporary inconvenience. It's about disrupting essential services, causing economic turmoil, even potentially threatening national security. Imagine waking up one day to find your bank accounts emptied, your personal details exposed, or your power grid disabled. Sounds like a dystopian novel, doesn't it? But these scenarios aren't just figments of a writer's imagination, they're potential realities in an era of cyber warfare. From state-sponsored hackers to rogue individuals, the enemies are varied and the strategies are evolving. It's an invisible war, but the impacts can be all too visible. The threat to our digital existence is real. Fellow preppers, the time to act is now. The world is shifting and changing, presenting us with challenges we might never have imagined. But remember, knowledge is power. The more prepared we are, the better we can navigate through these uncertain times. We need to stand together, learn from each other, and build our resilience. So don't just stand on the sidelines, get involved. Join us here at Prepping for Tomorrow. Share your ideas, your insights, your experiences. Let's build a community where we can support each other in the face of crisis. Hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Stay up to date with our latest tips, tricks, and insights. Equip yourself with the knowledge and skills to face the future head-on. We're not just preparing for tomorrow, we're shaping it. With that said, thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember, together we can weather any storm.